everybody. I am Terry.
I'm Melissa.
And we are Nations Travels. Today we have traveled to Dawsonville, Georgia, to the Georgia Racing Hall of Fame, and it's also the Dawsonville History Museum. But we thought we'd go in here and take a look around and see what we think about the place and let y'all take a look at it too. So, you got anything on that?
No.
All right, well, let's go in here and do this, y'all. You enter in through the gift shop here, and when you come in, they already have a lot of cars sitting here in the gift shop. As you first enter the museum, they have a billboard here like a drive-in. And then there is a movie playing in here. Right now, Bill Elliott's on the screen, and as you can see, it's set up like an old drive-in.
Brothers Bill, Ernie, and Dan Elliott shown the spotlight once again on Dawsonville with their now.
He went from then you couldn't fight me.
Dixie Speedway. Technology continues to push the limits of drivers, fulfilling passions for jaw-dropping speed, in-your-face excitement.
Overwhelmed, amazing.
His fastest lap is better than 106 miles an hour.
Bill Elliott, the $1 million man, how does it feel? I don't know. I haven't heard of the contract rate.
As you leave the drive-in area, as you're going out of the room, they have a sign that says, "Thank you, come again." And it says to please turn your lights on, which is something that they would have years ago at the old drive-in theaters, because you'd sit there with your engine running in the wintertime to keep warm. And sometimes you'd drive off after the movie with your lights still on. It looks like they got a large display of license plates here from all over the country. It looks like they got some midget racers here, I think what they're called. As you can see, these cars are not very big. And this one's running a flathead engine in it. And there's just enough room for somebody to sit here in the seat and get their legs down there, so you were pretty exposed when you drove these cars. The next room that we're about to go into here says the Elliott family legacy, which the Elliots are from Dawsonville, Georgia, here where the Georgia Racing Hall of Fame is located. It looks like they have a couple of their race cars in here. Several of their trophies from over the year. And this number 9 Coors Melling car is the one that Bill Elliott made famous a long time ago. So they got some of Bill's old helmets in here. And trophies as he's won. Here's the Bristol International Speedway trophy and one from Atlanta. And Two Rivers winner. I'm not sure which racetrack that is, but there's another trophy.
With an oil pump. Elliott managed to catch and pass the leaders without benefit of a caution.
We're almost 2 laps down. Bill came back on the radio and asked Artie how hard I went. So.
This is a lot of trophies. A lot of trophies. Moving on through, in the next part of the museum, I see they have some more cars in here. Up on the ceiling, I see they have a bunch of pieces of car parts that have been cut away over the years from race cars that were probably wrecked. There's a late model dirt track car. It says Buck Simmons drove this. Here's an old 55 Chevrolet race car. I'm guessing it was probably a dirt track car from the tires it has on it here, wheels. They have a 409 Chevrolet engine on display here, which is a pretty large engine. And they have an engine block here. It says it came out of Jeff Gordon's car when he won the Winston, but I'm guessing this was a 350 block. I've got some more car parts hanging from this side of the room. Hood off of Bill Elliott's car when he drove for McDonald's. Here's one of their promotional hoods, I think, when they were all part of the Coca-Cola family. They got a Ford Thunderbolt here. I think it's a 64 model Ford. But I think this car was actually made for racing from the factory, if I'm not mistaken. And I could be wrong, but I think it did. And I noticed, you can tell if you can see the texture in this from this camera. I think it has a fiberglass hood to save weight, and I think it's possible that maybe the fenders and maybe the doors could be fiberglass also. I'm not sure, but back at one time, the factories actually kind of built race cars straight from the factory. They're just ready to go fast as soon as it left the assembly line. They have another little room here to the side that's filled with display cases and trophies. And I recognize this trophy here. It's from the Monster Mile at Dover, Delaware. If you like auto racing and you want to find out some of the history of NASCAR, this is a good place to come because they do have a lot of history. I see here an old 57 Chevrolet model that has a roll cage on it, and I do remember that years ago drivers would actually race convertibles, which would be unheard of today. They have an example of a dyno room here where I see they have a Dodge engine on the dyno right now. And these machines would show how much horsepower and torque they are producing. This is a 55 Chrysler 300. It was driven by Tim Flock. And when you look in this car, back in years ago, they were actually stock cars. This was a car you could have bought and driven on the street. And as you can see, they've added one little roll bar in case the car were to roll over, and other than that, it's pretty much stock. You know, they would change the tires, they'd modify the engine a little bit, but things have definitely changed over the years. And I saw something on the back of the car I wanted to mention. They were bragging back in the day that says world's fastest production model stock sedan. And it says this car qualified at 130 miles per hour. So the speeds have come up a lot since that day, but I see they got a sticker from later, it's probably added later on, that says, yeah, it's got a Hemi. Or it could have originated back in those days, I'm not sure. I see they even got one of the old 10-cent Coke machines. If you're old enough to remember those, you'd put in a dime and pull the little lever, and a Coke would appear under that little door to the left there, little silver door. Here's another one of the Monster Mile trophies, and I will admit that's an impressive trophy right there. Now here's one of Chase Elliott's race cars from pretty recently, and then you look at this from the early 2020s, and you compare it to his father Bill's race car, which he raced. I guess this was probably early 80s. A lot has changed over the years between the two cars. This 1960 Pontiac was built for Jack Smith, and when they were building the Atlanta Motor Speedway, he test drove this car on the track when they just had one lane on it and no guardrails up to test it out, I guess. And he did later on race this car when the track was completed. As you can see now, we're in the early 60s now, and they do have roll bars in here now that have removed the seats, all but the driver's seat. But it is still a stock seat. If you'll notice here on the back too, also on the back glass there are metal straps that are going down over the back glass. I think they had instances before where cars were on the track, and the wind coming in through the open windows actually blew the back glasses out, so they added these straps. It probably keeps them in too in case of an accident. And here on the wall is a picture of that car on the Atlanta Motor Speedway. They do have some video here of an accident that Bill Elliott was involved in. And there it goes.
Major crash here on the front stretch. A car upside down. That's Bill Elliott. And Dale Earnhardt was on his side as he came down through the tri-oval. A major crash here at the tri-ovals. Car still.
Well, it showed that crash, and they actually have that car here. And this video is right here in front of the car, as you can see. There is no front end on the car. I'm not sure if they removed the engine or it was torn out, but it actually looks like ripped metal there on the sides. But as you can see, this car was heavily damaged in this accident. And there's a picture of it there on the wall, and it still shows Elliott while he was sitting in it, and there's some more pictures there on the top showing different frames of the accident. But you can see the top of the engine is on fire there. The engine is still in there, so it did stay intact, but the car and the front wheel is gone. It's just totally demolished. Here's one of Tim Flock's old cars, and it's called the Black Phantom. It's pretty nice. And here it looks like a Camaro race car. It's been quite a while now, but there was a time when they did not race trucks, but then the truck racing series come along. And they also have a recreation of the flagman stand from Atlanta Motor Speedway up here. Give you an idea what it looks like if you've never been to a race. They have a replica of Andy Griffith's squad car from Mayberry here. Here's one of Red Byron's old cars. Something I noticed I think is really neat that they painted the wheels black and white. Probably look pretty good going down the track. Here's a Ford, I guess Falcon, I think, from back in the day race car. But I noticed on the front here it says Bounty Hunter. On the outside of the building here, they've got a replica of an old gas station with the pumps and air machine out here. And there's old, I think Pontiac, it says Sam Colvin, I think, on the door for the driver.
Mr. Nation's got him a shirt in there, and I think it's a pretty sharp shirt.
Let me show it to you.
I had questions about what this shirt says.
This is the front, number 9, Bill Elliott.
Bill Elliott.
But the back is
Dawsonville
what's
from
good.
Dawsonville. The back is what we like.
The back is the Coors Melling Ford.
World's fastest race car at 212.09 miles per hour at Talladega in 1987. And I asked him, don't the cars go faster now since it's been 1987? And what did you tell me?
I said that they had to slow the cars down because they were going too fast. They couldn't keep them on the ground. And that's when restrictor plate racing began, I do believe.
How fast do they go now? How about?
Oh,
I know you don't watch it as much anymore.
Yeah, they're
but
still right around 200 at Daytona and
that's
Talladega,
the fastest.
Yeah, I think this is the fastest qualified.
You'll have to get
speed.
another shirt if we find another
They're
fast
having
one.
cars go faster than that on track, but not in official capacity. They were just testing with some illegal equipment at the time. So.
Well, did you have fun?
Oh yeah, I had a good time.
Good.
Okay, y'all. That was our visit to the Georgia Racing Hall of Fame here in Dawsonville, Georgia, and
Awesome Bill from Dawsonville.
yeah, Bill Elliott. He made Dawsonville famous during his racing
This is
career.
his town.
Yeah.
And his son is Chase Elliott, who races now.
Which continues to make Dawsonville famous.
He's a cutie.
Oh, listen to this.
He's a little cutie. I saw his poster.
Okay, well, I'm not going to say he's a cutie. I'll leave that to
My
her.
favorite thing in there, though, and it's weird, was the picture of Dale Earnhardt.
Yeah,
It brought back lots of memories
yeah.
of happiness. That's when we used to like to watch the race, when
Yeah.
Earnhardt and Gordon would go at it.
Yeah, I miss Dale Earnhardt. He was fun to watch. But they do have. I did notice they had some cutouts from race cars. You know, a lot of times when they wreck them, they'll cut out body panels. But they did have, I think, one of his roofs in there had the number 3. Anyway, if you're ever up here in Dawsonville, Georgia, or if you just want to make a trip up here to Dawsonville, Georgia, you have an idea now what the Georgia Racing Hall of Fame looks like. And if you're a racing fan, I'm sure you'll enjoy it.
And they're adding new things as we speak.
Yes. They are adding what, simulators? Racing
That's
simulators?
what you said.
Okay.
You could hear them working.
Yeah, there is construction going on now.
And it doesn't look like your normal museum. It is connected to the Dawsonville City Hall, and it sits in the parking lot or right beside a food line. So it's not your typical thing, but once you get inside, it looks really good.
Yeah.
And it looks good. What they're doing to it right now, they're really making it look good. Outside, they brought back a gas station that used to be very popular in Dawsonville, so I think it's pretty.
Yeah.
Because we saw the picture of it on the wall and then came around the side and they have it.
Oh.
So now let's go look at the pool hall where Dave, whenever time Chase wins, he comes and does a, what do you call that?
Oh yeah.
Burnout. What do you call that? They show you a movie when you first come in.
Yeah, I think when Bill or Chase won a race, they would ring a bell or do a siren
at the pool hall.
at the pool hall.
Then they had the people down the street, and they had that where you could go around by itself. They showed it.
Yeah, I think that might have been when he won the championship.
Might have been right where we came into town.
Yeah. There in front
It
of the
looked
courthouse.
good. That would have been neat to see.
Oh.
So, but anyway.
All right, well, let's head over and
Yes,
Look at
let's
that.
see if we can find it. If we can, we might take a picture of it. Who knows?
Okay.
But if we can't and you don't see it, you know, we didn't find it, or it wasn't where we could get a picture, right?
Right.
All right. Well,
Okay.
if you like this video, we'd appreciate it if you give it a thumbs up. And if you like us and like to hang out with us, hit that subscribe button. And let's live life
Together.
always.
Yeah. Thanks. Bye, y'all. After we left the Georgia Racing Hall of Fame, we did go by the Dawsonville Pool Room, which sounds an alarm every time that Chase Elliott wins a race. And I didn't expect to find this, but right beside the Dawsonville Pool Room, there is a example of an old moonshine still out here, which, as you know, racing started up here in Dawsonville because people were hauling moonshine in souped up cars. And this is inside the Dawsonville Pool Room here, and they do have a pool table, and I didn't know it was a restaurant too in here, but they do have burgers and hot dogs and that kind of stuff in here, fries. And it looks like they got some of Bill's trophies in here also.
Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next video. Bye.